Marcus Gray with Greylanders. As promised, hole in the ground, Oregon. Looks like a meteor or an alien landed here. Apparently it's some geological stuff that's above my pay grade. But we're going to drive down into the center and we'll give you a bottom's eye view. It's opposite of a bird's eye. Be back. So here we are, bottom of the hole in the ground, center of the world. It's raining out. Oh, there's my dog. It's raining out. Trip down wasn't too bad. It was a little bumpy. Had some motorcycle mogos. I don't think the rain's gonna last very long. If it did, that would be a concern going back up that. Just set up camp here at Hole in the Ground, and it looks like we got a big storm coming in. The wind is picking up, and you can see those clouds are dumping behind me, and they're heading this way. So it's going to make for an interesting night. Set up a nice little spot over here. Got the awning up. I don't know if it's going to hold though. And I'm pretty hesitant to set up the rooftop tent at this point with these winds kicking. Looks like it'll probably pass, but when it comes, it's going to come hard, so we might be mudding our way out of here after all. It's part of life in Oregon. Here we are, hole in the ground. And look at this rain coming down. Just managed to get up through that trail. I'll tell you what, it was pretty sketchy. I'm glad we got out when we did, because I would not want to take that road when it is raining like this. I'm going to walk over to the edge, but I'm going to try not to be that guy. Something else. Well, the storm has passed for the most part. Got dumped on for a little while there, quite a bit. Wind is still blowing pretty heavy, but the good news is that the Jeep is clean, except for the tires. Yeah, so looks like the sun is about to come out, and just in time to start cooking some dinner. I think it's gonna be a beef stew kind of night. So not bad, it's to be expected out here. It comes and goes. Wouldn't surprise me if some more weather came in, but for the most part right now, all we got is a whole bunch of wind. Good news is that the CBT tarp, or the CBT awning, Pioneer awning to be exact, is holding out really well. So under these kind of conditions, I was a little nervous, but it's been holding out really well. So here's to that. The night is young, so we shall see. Back at you in a minute. Marcus Gray here, and this is a good vantage point of Hole in the Ground. Pretty immense area here in Central Oregon. Nice place to visit. Probably wouldn't want to live here. So as you can see, there's some trails out here. Most of these trails are ATV trails. Right over there is a trail that you could probably take a Jeep. I mean, I did take a Jeep, but I mean, you could probably do it too. Going up is a little sketchy, but it's not, I don't know, there's a lot of mogos. I'm not going to recommend it, but it's doable. And then it's pretty cool when you get down into the bottom there. It's just like flat desert right in that center right there. So yeah, it's definitely worth seeing. If you're not sure of the capability of your vehicle, I would definitely walk that trail before you drive it. But yeah, the Jeep did all right. You want a lot of flex in your vehicle because you're kind of sitting sideways, and it gets you wondering. But anyway, here we are, hole in the ground, Central Oregon, Greylanders. Catch you on the dirt. Well, here we are at the entryway to Fort Rock. And look at this atrocity. No Jeeps. What? Perfectly good road. Looks like we'll be walking up there. I'm gonna shoot some video when we get up there, so take a look around at, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We'll take a look around when we get up there. Stick with us. I'll have to admit that this is pretty spectacular. It would be a perfect place to camp, right out here. But I get it. You know, people don't know how to take care of Mother Nature around here. But I'll tell you what, this would be a nice campsite if you had an awning. Just set up out here. Pretty amazing stuff, but this is it. You're looking at it. Fort Rock, Lake County, Oregon. My name is Marcus Gray. I'm with Greylanders, and we're gonna press on. We're gonna find a place that's even better. So stick with us, and hopefully we'll get back to you shortly from Derrick Cave, if we can find it. So we didn't make it to Derrick Cave, but we came across this old pump house. I'm assuming it's a pump house. I'm not an engineer, so correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free to correct me. But look at this old engine here. That is something else, huh? All these old gears. This is just crazy. Been sitting out here since I don't know when. And it'll probably be here long after I am gone. But look at the engineering behind this stuff. I mean, this is just rock solid, built to last forever. So we kind of hit an impasse on our way to Derrick Caves, and looks like we're going to be trying to find a place out here somewhere in the woods / desert to camp out. Ran into some private property, and then the roads started to dissipate into mountains. So from what it looks like, we're going to be setting up camp somewhere out here. But as we were driving by, we saw this old pump house and thought it'd be worth taking a look at, showing you guys. So when we get up to our campsite and get things set up, I'll check back in with you. Marcus Gray here with Greylanders. So like I said previously, we didn't make it to Derrick Cave. Ran into some private property, and then the roads that led around the private property led up into the mountains, and we were running about 50% gas, so we didn't want to get to that point of no return. We stopped at this nice spot. It's probably about 6 or 7 miles east of Fort Rock, and set up camp here, and now we're just getting ready to break camp. So got the nice little doggy bed for my It's a dog platform for my dog Cole. And up there is my platform, which is the CVT mount hood. It's worked out pretty good so far. I'm pretty impressed with it. And this is the loadout of gear that's in the back here. Coolers, backpacks, Plano Sportsman's Box. I got a few of those packed in down here too. Those things are holding out really well, so I like them. They take up a little bit of room for the amount of storage that they have, and they've been pretty durable so far. Got the front runner table, which has been working out pretty well for me. And then just last night we tried out this UCO grill, and I thought it worked out pretty well. A lot of people said that it's hard to get the fire going in there, but we got the fire going good. Scrambled some eggs and some bacon on there. We haven't actually done the entire grill out thing yet, but we'll give that a shot too, and do some grilling on that this coming weekend. Set up the awning again. I set up the awning in a bad spot for the shade, so I had to move the Jeep again. Of course, you got the Max Tracks, which you'll probably never need if you drive a Jeep Rubicon. And then the other area here, which is an actual sleeping platform that I made that still has room down below for Plano Sportsman's. And if you look way tucked back in there, there's another one there. So we're doing pretty good with storage areas and stuff like that. As far as working with such a small area, it definitely needs to be minimalized and cut down. And I think that's one thing that we learn when we go on these trips is what do we need, what don't we need? Let's take 5 things out that we didn't use and maybe add 3 things that we wished we would have brought. Definitely gonna have to look at some roto packs and some water system storages for this Jeep, but all in all, it was a pretty good experience. Not quite as epic as I was hoping for, going into some forgotten caves, but we'll get there. So thanks for sticking with us, and we'll catch you out on the dirt. Marcus Gray with Graylanders. So the question is, what do we use to stay warm at night out here in the Oregon high desert? The wool blanket? Yeah, they're nice. They're cumbersome, but they'll keep you warm when they're wet. And this blanket itself has actually saved my life. So wool blanket, kind of hard to part with, but man, these are big and heavy. What about the Wooby, the old GI poncho? These things are nice. They're not super warm, but they're super light, super compactable. My problem with these is when they get wet, you're gonna freeze. The other problem I have with these are these ties. No matter how you tie them, you always get a draft. Something always ends up poking out. So how can we get from here to here? Well, I'm sitting on the answer. This is the Helicon Tech swag mat, and this is a poncho liner, but it's got a hood in it. Why don't these have hoods in them? I don't know. I can't answer that. This one does. It's also got a nice pocket in the front where you can stuff the entire poncho itself and carry it with. It's still compactable, but yet warmer than this. It's got zippers all along the edges. You can make a sleeping bag out of this. I don't know why they haven't thought of this sooner, But this thing is incredible. Slip it on, and you're good to go. It's got some buckles on the back here. You can snap it up. You can zip it up. You can wear it. You can sleep in it. You can lay it out. So this is the Helicontex Swagman poncho. And it's not cheap. Runs about 150 bucks. One of these run about 40 bucks. One of these about 60 bucks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these aside. I'm going to run this all summer long, and we're going to see how it does for me. I will certainly let you know how the Helicontex Swagman roll works for me. Right now, I'm going to button it up. I'm going to head back to camp. Marcus Gray here. Speed kills. These gravel roads ain't no joke. You get going too fast, and these rocks, they'll turn to ice. And they will take you to places that you don't want to go. Stay on the dirt, not in it. Greylanders.